Okay, Unit 5, review for assessments 1 and 2. If it straddles both sides of the y-axis, let's say a picture does like that. Here's the y-axis, blue line. Because you have part of the graph on this side of it and part of this graph on this side of it, then the rule will be choose the numbers 0 for x's, 0, then some negatives, -1, -2, and then some positives. +1, you don't need the plus sign, but I already wrote it, and +2. Sometimes that's going to produce decimals, which we don't want. So if it does produce decimals, find an x that doesn't produce a decimal, and that way it's nice and neat. But if you chose these and you put the decimal that it gave, I'll take it anyway. It'll be harder for you to graph, but it's fine. So, do me a favor on this one, whatever's in there. Check your picture. I think it's a straight line going uphill, probably, or going downhill because of the -2 in front of the axis. Probably going downhill. Choose number 0, 1, -1, -2, and make a table for it. That's the red table. So again, what are the steps when they say graph inverse? Step 1, put in the calculator with the y equals. Step 2, check the picture to see, okay, does it go on both sides? Okay, cool. If it does, then I choose the number 0, 1 and 2 negative, 1 and 2 positive, and I fill in their partners. Do that. Next step, to actually get the inverse, so on this red stuff, put OG, in red. OG would be the original, or of course, original numbers. Or OG for some guys means original gangster. The O is original and G is the gangster. But OG generally means original. So some guys say OG gangster, which is original gangster. That's because they don't know how to go to school. In order to be a gangster, you can't be in class because it's like my cousin. He wanted to be hardcore, but he went to church all the time. You can't really be hardcore and be at church. Yeah, it's a little different. His dad was important in church. All right, so here's the deal. So you put your OG. The second part, which is actually an important part, the NIV. No, that's Bible. The INV is inverse. Your second table is XY. Anybody remember how to find the inverse table when you have an original? What'd you do?
I run the options, right?
Both on Max and Daniel T. You just flip the numbers. In other words, what's the partner to appear? Oh, I should put in red. Oh, man. Why did I mess up these kids with color coordination? Because I'm going to be referring to red and green often. What's the partner to 0 on the top one? Anybody know? On the OG? Is 0, 0?
1.3.
1.3, thank you. What's crazy about this, like, I know they're looking at the calculators. There's a table there, like, what are they thinking? All right, to -1?
1.666.
With the barn, and, oh, I remember these now. -2?
2.
Just a 2? Sweet. +1?
1.688.
+2? Just a point with the 6. All right. So again, to get the green, you're just gonna flip them. So hopefully no one's like, oh, this is so hard, it's so confusing, I don't get it. You just switch them. See, I'm doing it without even your help. I'm just doing it on my own. The good news is you've just gotten 3 of the 4 points available. The last point is going to be graphing both of them. What is it? What's the 1? 1.6. With the 2 is a 2. 1 is a 1? I'm making that up. Since I don't have a calculator, I can't check it out. I have to trust you. All right. What's the last thing you're going to do? You're going to graph the 5 points that you have on the red. That's your original. And you're going to graph the 5 points that you have on the green. That's the inverse. You are graphing, the inverse. And usually I ask for both the things to be graphing the same thing. So if I were doing this on my paper here, I would redraw. I would redraw 1, 2, 1, 2. Hopefully, on the test, they'll give you an XY plane, so you won't have to try it. So I'm going to try and graph these first guys. Red guys, here we go. 0, 1.3, 0, 1.3, yeah, close enough. -1, 1.6, -1, 1.6. -2 and 2, -2 and 2. So mine is going to be straight, but whatever. 1 and 1. 1 and 1? 1 and 1. Something's not right. Something is not right. 2 and 0.6. 2 and 0.6.
That's what it says on the table.
Okay. If you do crazy stuff and you can check it out, you're like, hey, boom, there it is. What you want to do with that? Alright, sounds weird. Should make a straight line because there's no exponent. Greens. That's weird. Somebody else check that, see if I did something wrong. 1 and a -3. Red, 1.3 and a 0. By the way, technically you're supposed to connect the dots. I'm just going to make a line because I know it has to be one. The picture was a line, yeah? Okay. And, of course, my scaling might be a little bit off. Green, where are you? 1.6 and a 1. 1.6 and a 1. A -1. Dang, that's off. One color. But you guys get the point. Put in the dots. Connect the dots. You're a winner. 2 and a -2. 2 and a -2. Okay, yeah, there's a line. A -1 and a 1. -1 and a 1. Oh, yeah. Hello. How about you? 0.6 and a 2. 0.6 and a 2. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Dang, something's new. All right. Let me pause there. Let me say that's the answer. It looks weird. It looks wrong, but how would you get your points if your picture is off? For sure, he's going to check the red and the green. Whatever the red is, he's going to check see if you switch to green. That gets you points for knowing to get the inverse. You just switch the boxes. And then I'll look at the pictures. Yeah, let's pause there. All right, we're going to try and do number 4. For those watching the video, you can pause it. Number 4, the students did on their own, so hopefully you would have done it. Put in your calculator. The numbers are pretty big and ugly. My numbers. This is my little picture of the whole thing. Like down here where the bouncy ball is on the 100. I'm animating that, and then we'll punch into the calculator. We're about to do numbers 2. Or just watch, I guess. All right, I'm going to find the inverse of 4, of 3, then they'll do 5, and that should get them ready to take it. If they give thumbs up, give thumbs down, not ready. Here it comes. Step 1. Anybody know what step 1 is to start doing the inverse? You're correct. Change the f of x into a y. 2x minus 5. You can copy, you can watch. How about this? Maybe watch the first time, then copy. I'll give you like a few seconds to copy, then watch and copy, and then do. So full on watch. That way you just think, oh, let's see what he's doing. Oh, okay, got it. Sometimes when you write and copy, watch and copy, part of your brain has to go to, am I writing it down properly? So watch. Step 2, switch the x and the y. Turn that up so that people watching the movie at home, they have at least a little background music. All right, step 2. Oh, and then from there you start solving. Now I'm doing this one first because that little 2 messes up most people. Anybody know how to get rid of a power of 2?
Is it radical?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good answers out there. I'm going to choose the one that says take the square root. Come on, how I'm going to do this? I'm going to write a second line so I don't have to do 2 on the same line. Alright. Alright, yes, it's a little bit long. Alright. Get rid of the 2, take the square root on both sides, and they can't hear any instruction for the music. The 2 and the greenhouse cancel. And if I had time, I'd make a pun about the greenhouse effect, but I don't have time. Y minus 5. On this side, what's important is the radical is only above the x. Everybody else will not go inside of the radical sign. You will get something similar to this. And if you're wondering why you should pay attention, you can be like Alicia. What if you decide to take pre-cal? You need some of this left for you. Well, that'll be in a year, so never mind. You're not going to remember it by then. So here comes step 2. Now I'm just going to add 5, divide by 2, and I'm done. Add 5, divide by 2, and I'm done. What does he mean? He's going to add 5. He's out of space. Oh, no. What he's going to do is going to put on number 5. They need number 5. Maybe you can put it up there. Oh no! So I'm on it with on the next line x. I'm going to put the little mark to show that only x is inside. The plus 5 is behind. I have a 2y. I'm going to divide 2 on both sides. Once I divide the 2, like I'm almost done. Dang, I'm out of space. I'm going to put mine on 5. You're going to have to fit yours, or if you're watching, what can I do? What can I do? Sure, red arrow up. I'm going to divide 2 on both sides. So red is blue. Rewrite. Radical x. What is it? Plus a 5. The plus 5 on the outside, though. Equals a 2y. Yeah. I'm going to divide the red 2 on the bottom so they can see that. Final answer, almost. I thought that was like a baby crying or something. Or like an animal. If you leave it as a y, I kind of want to give it to you, but I want you to be superior students. So technically write the inverse. Whatever the original name was, f of x, you write f negative 1 of x, also called f inverse of x. I'll put that in green so they can see that something changed. All the rest are still the same. Radical x plus the 5. Make sure you show that it's only that x under there, not the whole thing. Box it, take a look at it. All right, we're doing number 3. X. I do like that part of the song. I always like that part. It's like a train. The ladies on the track say, "Whoa, save me!" And the guys on the trying to get. They never show up, but sometimes they don't untie them. They can't get them loose. Sometimes. They never show that. It must happen. Otherwise, the criminal's like, "Why you guys keep tying them? They get loose every time." Right, here comes the. It's so like in Batman, the first one with the, is Batman the first one with the Joker?
The second.
That's the second one. The Joker was the first one.
The first one was Raj
Joker was in the second one.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, Joker was the second.
With the okay, the guy who killed himself. He's in the second one, yeah. The point I was gonna make once I find out which episode it is, and now I'm trusting him. He says the second one. Now I trust him. You won on that first one. Now you're trustworthy. Nonetheless, in a movie like that, you're not supposed to kill the girlfriend. That's yeah. So there's a Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and there's the girlfriend. I think Batman chose Harvey Dent, or I can't remember how the lady died. She blew up or something. So at that point, we're like, what? The girlfriend died, so now anything's possible. And then in the end, Harvey Dent. And here's the real question you got to ask yourself near the end now. Once I take the cube root of that to get rid of that 3 floating in the air. Remember, there's a number floating in the air. You need to trap it in a house to work it out. I got to figure out a good scenario for that, to like some in real life. What happened? Somebody said something. I missed it. I'll do it in green. Now here's the important part, the house part. Whatever number is floating in the air has to be outside the house. The only time you don't put a number outside the house is if it were a 2 floating in the air, because the number outside of the house, when you don't write a number, is automatically a 2. You don't put a number right here, it's automatically a 2. So if there's something inside the house,
Now just take the 3 up there.
no, these two are going to cancel each other. A house and an exponent cancel each other. If the exponent is bigger than a 2, then the house has to have the same number as the thing that's being canceled. So what does that look like? Y equals, and why do it in blue? That seems weird making it red. I'm at the end. All this stuff stayed, nothing happened to it. And the last thing I'm going to do is change the name of that Y. What was the original thing? F of x? Are they all F of x? No, G of x, G of x, F of x. F of x is a famous one. Since G comes right after x, if they do a new one, usually they go to G next. F for function, which is why they chose that. I wish they would have chosen x of x. That would have been sweet. But they don't use the letter x as the first name of a function, but you can use any letter you want. But I guess that first name would be a little confusing. As if math isn't already confusing. I say do it. Do it.
It wasn't confusing.
Okay. Good question. Green 3 is on this house on the right. Over here, the green 3 No green 3 over here, house on the left. There must be one because I'm saying I'm taking the cube root of this side. If I take the cube root of the right side, I must take the cube root of the left side. So it is in fact true. Daniel H, the more memorable of the two. I should say that because it's true. She's all like, oh, clearly he's Daniel. I don't know your name, but clearly Daniel's an easy name to remember. If your name was Daniel, it'd be obviously easy to remember. What's your name? Oh, Daniel. Yeah, the T threw me off. It was Daniel H. Clearly, I would know that. Oh, there's a thing before that. So all this one isn't on you. Tessa didn't remember Daniel. She don't remember Daniel. You didn't remember Daniel or Daniel, but you're new. You know, you just sit between the two guys who could save your life. There's a fire, or you can save their lives. Come on, Daniels! Whatever. Problem 5 got started. It's a video. Watch it. And it's like Netflix. I'm on Netflix. I can't even believe that. All right. Boring Netflix, but whatever. Divided 3. Oh, I switched colors. I couldn't help it. But guess what? I'm done. Yeah, so I think I'll put one of these on there so you can feel good about yourself. Now make sure you change that Y at the end. Well, that's kind of good. I can describe all that stuff on there. X minus 14 all over -3. So do this easy one first when you get it, that way you can feel good. Is this a f of x or h of x? This is a g of x? Yes, a g of x. G of x. By the way, it is true, I do tell the story because I did have a professor in college